If you've ever felt like, no matter how hard you try being kind, consistent, patient, the connection you want just slips through your fingers, maybe it's time to question what you think attraction really is. It's not about endless effort or clever words. It's about something deeper: the energy you carry, the way you hold space, the quiet power behind your presence. Attraction doesn't live in noise or explanations. It lives in stillness, intention, and a kind of magnetic calm. This video isn't about pretending or playing games. It's about becoming deliberate in your self-expression and presence, a philosophy of being that draws people in effortlessly. What you're about to discover will transform how you show up, how you hold your ground, and how you invite connection without chasing it. Stick with me till the end. Every insight builds on the last. Missing even one could mean you keep spinning the same wheel, wondering why you're always the one waiting, hoping, or being overlooked. Own your inner energy before you speak. The first and most vital shift is understanding that how you feel radiates far louder than what you say. When you try too hard to impress or fill every silence, you weaken your own presence. Authenticity begins with mastery of your internal state: calm, centered, deliberate. Think about a moment when you were around someone completely at ease, confident in silence. Their energy doesn't plead or explain, it simply is. That energy makes others lean in, not because of words, but because of the power you carry quietly within. In real life, this means resisting the urge to overtalk or explain yourself. Let the pauses carry meaning. If you're on a date or chatting in messages, listen deeply. Let your responses be measured and clear, your body language relaxed but purposeful. This subtle command of energy invites curiosity, respect, and attraction. Present yourself as a reflection of your values. Your outward appearance is not superficial. It's a signal, a visual language that communicates how you respect yourself and what you stand for. This isn't about wearing expensive clothes or following trends, but about grooming and style that reflect your inner discipline and self-regard. Every detail, from your posture to your scent to your clothing choices, sends a message before a word is spoken. It tells others whether you approach life with care and intentionality or with neglect and indifference. Imagine walking into a room with a presence that subtly commands attention. It's not arrogance, it's the quiet assertion of a person who honors themselves, and by extension, honors the space they inhabit. This silent signal creates an environment where others naturally want to engage. Value your time like a rare resource. One of the most overlooked elements of attraction is the power of scarcity, not in a manipulative way, but as a natural byproduct of having a life that doesn't revolve around constant availability. When your time is precious and your presence is not guaranteed, your energy gains weight. Being hard to reach doesn't mean being cold or uninterested. It means living with purpose and priorities so rich that you aren't at the mercy of anyone's schedule. This creates a magnetic tension because it invites intrigue and respect. For example, if you get a message inviting you out, instead of dropping everything, you consider your own plans and respond with confidence. This shows you're a person with commitments, not just someone waiting on a whim. This subtle boundary encourages others to appreciate and value your attention more deeply. Cultivate emotional sovereignty. Emotional mastery is the cornerstone of genuine power. It's easy to become reactive when faced with disappointment, silence, or challenges in connection. But true presence means holding your ground with grace and calm. When plans fall through or when responses come late, the temptation is to chase or spiral into doubt. Instead, maintain your composure. This isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about choosing how you show up regardless of circumstance. Imagine calmly accepting change without drama or guilt trips. This resilience sends a message: you're complete within yourself. Such stability is rare and deeply attractive because it signals security and strength. Build a life that invites participation, not dependence. People are drawn not to someone who needs them to be whole, but to those who are whole and evolving on their own terms. Attraction flourishes in the presence of vision, ambition, and ongoing growth. You don't have to have achieved greatness or wealth. You only need to be moving forward, whether it's in your career, passions, health, or mindset. When you cultivate a life rich with meaning, connection naturally follows. Think of it this way: instead of asking, "What are you doing tonight?" Every day, you focus on what moves you: classes, projects, workouts, creative endeavors. When you do reach out, it comes from a place of invitation, not neediness. This shift in perspective transforms the dynamic entirely. Speak less, move with intention. Finally, embrace the power of clarity and brevity. Over-explaining or justifying your choices dilutes your presence and invites doubt. Instead, communicate your values and boundaries with confidence and economy. If you disagree or encounter friction, a simple "I see your point, but I think differently" creates respect through calm decisiveness. This approach builds intrigue and reinforces your self-respect without aggression or defensiveness. Moving with certainty creates an aura of mystery and strength. It signals that your life and choices are yours alone, unshaken by outside approval. This is magnetic. If you've ever found yourself pouring your energy into someone, being kind, consistent, present only to feel unseen or unchosen, it's natural to question what's missing. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that if you just say the right things or try a little harder, you'll finally get noticed. But what if attraction is less about what you do and more about who you are beneath the surface? What if the real magnetic force isn't in the words you speak, but in the energy you carry, the way you occupy space, and the silent signals your presence sends? This isn't about manipulation or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about cultivating a kind of intentionality that resonates deeply and naturally, a presence so compelling that it draws people in without effort or desperation. Understanding this truth is a paradigm shift. When you recognize that attraction happens largely in silence, in the energy you project, before you ever utter a single word, you unlock the power to transform your connections at their core. Most people miss this because they focus exclusively on the visible, what they say, what they do. But the invisible layers, the unspoken energy and the poised presence, are where attraction truly lives. Now, this isn't just theory. These principles can be applied in everyday moments, from casual conversations to dates, from online messages to chance encounters. Every interaction is an opportunity to show up differently, more deliberately, more powerfully. Own your inner energy before you speak. Energy is the foundation of presence. When you enter a room or engage with someone, your internal state broadcasts loudly even before you say a word. Imagine two people walking into a gathering. One is buzzing with nervous chatter, seeking approval with every phrase. The other is calm, breathing steadily, choosing their moments to speak with purpose. Which one commands more attention? Which one feels more magnetic? Mastering your energy means learning to be comfortable with silence, with stillness. It means cultivating a calm center that isn't reactive to external validation. When you own your energy, your silence becomes a powerful tool. Instead of filling every gap with noise, you let pauses breathe, creating space for others to lean in. This is what makes conversations feel alive and magnetic. In practical terms, this might look like resisting the urge to respond immediately to every message or comment. It's about cultivating patience and presence. When you talk, your words carry weight because they emerge from a composed place, not from a frantic need to impress. The art of listening becomes just as important as speaking, truly hearing what the other person says, not just waiting for your turn to talk. This is a subtle but profound shift. Instead of chasing connection through words, you allow your energy to draw it in naturally. This requires discipline and self-awareness, but the payoff is enormous. You stop feeling like you have to prove yourself, and instead you simply are. And that state, calm, centered, and sure, is magnetic beyond measure. Present yourself as a reflection of your values. How you present yourself is a mirror, reflecting your relationship with yourself. It's often said that people don't just see you, they see the way you see yourself. This is why grooming, posture, and style matter so much. Not because you have to look like a model, but because these are the outward expressions of an inner discipline and self-respect. Think of your appearance as armor, not in the sense of hiding, but in the sense of protecting and communicating your essence. Every detail, from the way you maintain your hair to the way you carry your clothes, sends a message to the world. It signals whether you take your life seriously, whether you honor your time and space. This doesn't mean you need designer labels or expensive accessories. What matters is the intentionality behind your choices. Are you careless, throwing on whatever's easy, or are you deliberate, crafting a look that supports the image of who you want to be? This kind of self-care becomes a form of silent communication, expressing confidence and readiness to engage with life on your own terms. Imagine entering a room where your appearance matches your inner state. Your posture is upright but relaxed. Your scent is subtle but distinct. Your style is clean and purposeful. You don't need to announce yourself loudly. The energy you radiate through your appearance draws eyes naturally, invites interest effortlessly. This is attraction without effort because it's authentic and grounded. Value your time like a rare resource. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is understanding the value of your time, not as a bargaining chip, but as an expression of your priorities and boundaries. When your time is precious, your presence becomes meaningful. People naturally want to engage with someone who lives with purpose and isn't always readily available. Being hard to reach often gets misunderstood. It's not about playing games or being aloof. It's about living a life rich enough that your attention can't be taken for granted. When you have a full schedule, meaningful commitments, and passions that occupy your focus, you create a natural scarcity around your presence. This scarcity creates a tension that is compelling. People don't want what's easy to get. They want what feels earned and valued. If you respond instantly to every message or drop everything at a moment's notice, your energy becomes diluted. You become predictable, and predictability is forgettable. Think about it this way: when someone reaches out to you, do you respond immediately regardless of what you're doing? Or do you take a moment, assess your priorities, and reply when it feels right for you? This simple practice communicates that you have a life, that your time is earned, and that your presence is valuable. This doesn't mean ignoring people or being disrespectful. It means showing up with boundaries and clarity about how you spend your energy. The effect is magnetic because it challenges others to value your time as much as you do. It invites respect and interest without needing to say a word. Cultivate emotional sovereignty. Emotional control is often overlooked in conversations about attraction, but it is essential. In moments of uncertainty, disappointment, or challenge, how you respond reveals the true state of your inner world. Do you cling, chase, or spiral into insecurity? Or do you remain calm, composed, and steady? Emotional sovereignty means being the ruler of your own inner kingdom. It means not allowing external events or the actions of others to dictate your peace of mind. When someone cancels plans, takes time to reply, or throws subtle tests your way, your response matters far more than the event itself. Instead of reacting with defensiveness or desperation, you meet these moments with grace. You might laugh it off, take a deep breath, and adjust your expectations calmly. You do not chase explanations or seek approval because you understand your worth is not tied to others' behavior. This creates a powerful dynamic. People are drawn to those who are emotionally stable because it signals security and strength. It's refreshing in a world of emotional chaos and neediness. When you show that you're complete within yourself, your presence becomes a source of calm and confidence that others want to be around. Practically, this might look like not texting multiple times after a flake or not reacting negatively to teasing. It's about holding your center and not letting others' actions disrupt your sense of self. This emotional discipline builds respect and deepens attraction organically. Build a life that invites participation, not dependence. True attraction is magnetic because it arises from a life in motion, a life with direction, purpose, and growth. People are naturally drawn to those who are not waiting for something to happen, but are actively creating their own path. This doesn't mean you have to be wealthy or accomplished beyond measure. It means you're engaged in building something meaningful to you, whether it's your career, your health, your passions, or your mindset. When you have vision and purpose, your presence radiates strength and stability. Imagine instead of constantly checking your phone to see if someone has messaged you, you're focused on your goals and projects. When you do reach out, it's because you want to share a part of your world, not because you're seeking validation. This kind of engagement is magnetic because it communicates that your world is whole and inviting, not empty and desperate. Building a life that invites participation means you don't make others your mission. You don't revolve your day around their responses or presence. Instead, you create a world so solid and rich that others want to step into it. This dynamic shifts attraction from chasing to drawing, from needing to inviting. Speak less, move with intention. Finally, mastering attraction means mastering your communication through brevity and clarity. Over-explaining your values, decisions, or feelings often dilutes your presence and invites unnecessary debate or doubt. The most powerful communication is confident, concise, and intentional. When you disagree or encounter conflict, a simple statement like "I understand your view, but I see it differently" carries far more weight than lengthy justifications. This restraint and composure command respect and create intrigue. Moving with intention means making choices that reflect your values without needing approval or explanation. It means setting boundaries clearly and calmly. This clarity creates mystery, not because you're hiding, but because you're fully aligned with your own path. In real life, this might look like holding your position in a conversation without feeling the need to prove yourself. It means letting your actions speak louder than words. When you do this, you become the person who others want to figure out, not the one who lays everything bare immediately. Bringing it all together. Attraction is not a game of superficial tricks or performances. It is the expression of an internal state of being that feels stable, confident, and intentional. It's about removing the noise, the neediness, the over-explaining, the chasing that clouds your presence and diminishes your power. When you cultivate calm energy, present yourself with care, value your time, hold emotional sovereignty, build a purposeful life, and communicate with clarity, you step into a kind of power that is deeply magnetic. This power doesn't shout. It doesn't demand attention. It simply is. It draws people in because it signals authenticity, security, and self-respect. The transformation you're capable of is profound. It changes not only how others see you, but how you see yourself. You move from being someone who waits for connection to someone who creates it effortlessly. If you feel this message, take it beyond this moment. Write down 1 or 2 practices you'll begin today. Reflect on how you can bring more intentionality into your presence. Share this insight with someone who needs it. Together, we build a community of minds that don't break and presences that don't fade. Remember, attraction is less about becoming someone else and more about uncovering who you truly are: calm, clear, and unshakable.